सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Namaste, Guruji.
Yeah, Meera, how are you?
Good, good.
Very good, very good. So we came here about an hour ago, I think, and we were having some casual discussions, and Muniji, as usual, is covered up the plate, the table with so much food. We had to push all the food for the laptop, So anyway, we'll get started. The topic they have given us today, Swapna and the team, Coimbatore team, is ahankAra, mamakAra, rahita Jeevanam. Yeah, Vidana corrected. So I was thinking about it yesterday. So I first felt, let's first understand what is this ahankAra. We talk about it all the time. We take it for granted also. So let's understand what it is. It's not difficult, but I thought we will understand how ahankAra develops. So to a large extent we know. So child is born. Yeah. Child is born. Does child have ahankAra?
Not in any way.
The child is born. Okay, let's say it's a month old. It's no longer. It's there. It's able to walk, see and all that. Does that child, after say 2-month old, 3-month old child, have ahankAra? This is the question. Oh, you're all parents, so at least you can make a reasonably good guess.
Can I answer?
Huh?
Can I answer?
Yeah, please do.
It has ahankara. That's why it asks for food. It cries.
Okay, it has ahankAra. That's why it asks for food. All right. All right. Any other answers, Remaji? Illa. Yeah. So I'll tell you a different.
Child doesn't have ahankara after a while.
After a while, no, don't go.
When he recognizes his mother, my mother.
Not after a while. Right now, when the child is 2 months old, does the child have ahankAra? That is the question.
Then he has, because he feels hungry.
Comfort.
See, I'll tell you. I'll think about it. The child is born. Yeah. Does the child ahankAra means what? Awareness of the self. Awareness of the self. I am somebody. I am something I should know about myself. As a person, I need to know about myself. Something. Okay. I am the son of so and so. ahankAra. I am a human being. Awareness is there about myself. Correct? I am a Brahmana. I am a Kshatriya. ahankAra, a lot of ahankAra is there. Child won't know all this. Will the child know I am newly born? Child doesn't know I'm newly born. Okay. Meera, I'm looking at everybody here. There are 4 of us here. Swapna, Rukminiji, Gopal, and Ramuji are here. Okay. So I have a reasonably good audience today. The physical audience, it's amazing. All these days I've been looking at this the screen. I mean, I like to look at screen also because I see all nice people there. So I have no problem with that. So anyway, so the child does not know I am born. Will the child know I am born? Sure. But it is born. It won't know I am born. Okay. Does a child know I have a body? It wouldn't know I have a body because it doesn't have the concept of body. How will it know I have a body? I am a baby? Chance கிடையாது. No way. Child will not know I am a baby,
But
etc.
it knows the perimeters of the body.
It knows the perimeter. Does it know the perimeters of the body?
Just little bit. Because of the
Gopalji,
pain.
you've been a father
Because of the pain.
of 2, not 1.
Because of the pain it knows.
Okay, because of pain it knows. But we have to dig into the stuff. This is the crux of the whole thing.
Hunger. I think it's instinctual, right?
It does. When you say it doesn't know I have a body, how do you know? Can you say it knows the perimeters of the body?
Child cries.
Chance கிடையாது.
It's instinct.
So it's happily leading its life. Okay. Then what happens? Then suddenly there is a pain of hunger. அந்த பசி அந்த தேள் கொட்டினா மாதிரி வெளிக்கும்லாம் சொல்லுவா எங்க பாட்டியெல்லாம் சொல்லுவா என் தங்க பிறக்கறச்ச அப்படிதான் சொல்லியிருக்கா ஞாபகம் இருக்கும். She was 10 years younger to me. So ஐயோ தேள் கொட்டின மாதிரி இருக்கும். அப்பெல்லாம் தேள்னா எனக்கு என்னன்னே தெரியாது. ஓ something bites and how it will be அவ்வளவுதான். So that time it will cry. Correct? When it cries, at that time is it aware that I have a body? No, because body concept is not there. Pain or no pain. Pain is difficult to bear. That's all. I am aware that there is something happening and I don't like that. And therefore, I'm good at crying. Bhagavan has given me this. He doesn't know Bhagavan has given me. I can cry. That's all over. And then something comes in the mouth and then happy. Then over, gone. Forgot. Everything forgot. So far, did we identify any ahankara? I am hungry. Even there, the ahankara is not there. Some pain is there which is unbearable. Okay. There is really ahankara and identity irkanuma. You have to have identity. Something about I must be understood about me. I am some entity. Has to be clear. That is what ahankara is. Aham karomi iti ahankaraha. Aham karomi, kim karomi atra. Baby kimapi na karoti. Kartruktam nasti eva.
That's why that children up to 5 years are absolved of the sin.
Okay, hold on. Okay. So, nakaroti. Kartruktam nasti. Extremities of the body also it doesn't know. That is why the child, a 3 months old child is given vaccination and it is happily smiling. And somebody is holding the hand and etc. Ready to prick. And it doesn't know what's going to happen. If it is aware of the extremities and all this, it will do something. It doesn't respond until the skin, his body is pricked. And even then also, it doesn't respond. It takes a tangible amount of time after the pain to strike. And then it is the pain continues to remain and it is shocked. It is shocked. Wait a minute, I trust all of you. How did you do this to me? Meera, correct dana? Ramaji, so far agree. You're all parents. You should tell me something.
Correct.
Okay. I used to be surprised when my sister was like that. I used to watch it with my eyes. And then there used to be a lag. Whereas what we will do is if somebody is bringing a needle, already my body is going this way. Okay. But child doesn't know all that. Therefore, we can safely say the child doesn't have an idea of anything about itself. My body itself exists. That body idea slowly starts coming. You pet the baby, you say it, you feed it, come, do that, you sleep on my lap. So it begins to learn certain things. But then it begins to say, oh, I'm something. It sees the hand. Somehow it begins to recognize. I can't even say parts of the body at all. Some hand is there, something is moving, I'm hungry, I have to use my mouth to have some milk. This is all it knows. Even it can drink with the mouth, but it doesn't know there is such a thing called mouth and this and that. It doesn't know anything. Therefore, ahankara nasti eva. Zero ahankara. You think about it and let me know. I say it is zero ahankara. Then because of all this pain and this and that, people coming, then parents shouting at the child, No, no, you can't go there. Muttipa, viruva. Get. Oh, that means something is wrong. So I have to do. So I have to be careful. I have to readjust my position. I should not do what I'm doing. Yeah. So that okay. Let me put on this one, the gallery view. Yeah, now I can see all. Okay. Slowly that develops. Then only falls down, hits, ratham varadu, alaradu, again falls down, breaks the hand, then it realizes. Only then it realizes what I am. Of course, this is my body. That slowly that has come about. I am subject to pain. Body is subject to pain, and body is equal to I. Therefore, I am subject to pain. After a long time, it comes. It doesn't come from day one. It comes only after some time. After repeatedly having fever, cold, I don't want cold. I am subject to cold. But it will go away. After fever goes, it will run around. It is not afraid of any fever or anything like that, virus, and all. It will do until it falls down. Then goes to the doctor. Then it realizes this hospital is not a good place to come because they will do something to me. These ideas slowly come. This is ahankara slowly developing. Until then, it was free. That's why when the child goes to the store, when it goes to the store, it has no idea about all this buying, selling, mine, yours, theirs, and all that. Otherwise, it just goes and picks up something I like. Over. Mother has to say, no, it's not yours. You have to keep it. We are not buying. It doesn't understand the concept of buying. Buying, selling, then after it keeps on watching. Oh, if you give some bills like this, notes, then she gives this back to her hands. Oh, so in order for me to have something, I must give something, and slowly it picks up. So ahankara builds slowly. Correct? I hope we can at least somewhat agree on this. Ahankara is not there.
Newborn and couple of months down.
See, I'm making a claim that the child has zero ahankara. Pain is there, and I can't bear the pain. That's all. I am in pain. That I concept no concept of I. Okay. This is how life starts. Without ahankara, and then slowly ahankara keeps on building. And then, depending on the circumstances in the family, the ahankara will become stronger and stronger.
But they know these are my toys. So when another child comes, they don't understand.
So, illa unga audio mute. Ninga mute la irukku.
That is mamakAra. என்னுடையது சொன்னா mamakAra.
Okay. So ahankara vanda odane automatically mamakAra is the other side of the coin. One side of the coin is ahankara. Another side of the coin is mamakAra. Both will come. What is ahankara? Ahankara is I am so and so. I belong to this house, and I can ask. She's my mother. He's my father. I can ask them whatever they want. When I'm hungry, I have to go to talk to my mother. When I want something else, I have to talk to my father. All these ideas slowly start coming. And of course, mamakAra is automatic along with ahankara. Yeah. Ahankara, mamakAra. Okay. In the games, toys, other children are there. Then there's competition for things. When there's competition for things, and there's no competition, that's why Swamiji will always say, keep children slightly away from competition. You can't, you start this competing thing, let it come a bit later, not at the very young age. Because competition will stunt the emotional growth. Emotional growth goes to freedom. The flower should blossom nicely. So mamakAra, ahankara is coming. Okay. And in some countries, America lapona, that individuality is highly prized, very important. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to ask for what you want, and you have to do your stuff. அதெல்லாம் நிறைய இருக்கு யூஎஸ்ல. இங்கெல்லாம் இருக்கு, but not so much. இங்கெல்லாம் you can ask and you get away with a lot of stuff and give and take எல்லாம் இருக்கு. அங்கெல்லாம் they will not வேற மாதிரி பாப்பா. As though you don't know enough, you're not good at taking care of something. That individuality, you have to stand up and say it. Yeah. சின்ன குழந்தைகளுக்குலாம் சின்ன வயசுலயே சொல்றாளே.
You have to speak for yourself.
You have to speak for yourself. Amma, what should I do? This Amma, what should I do? Business and all, you keep it at home. That's all. In school and all, you have to ask for what you want. That's what Swapna is saying. So there, ahankara is even more reinforced. I must be somebody. I must accomplish something. Even more. But every child needs that feeling. That is why when the child is able to draw something, Amma, look what I've done. And Amma should say, I'm very happy. I'm so proud of you, son. I'm very proud of you. Oh, I can do something. I'm somebody now. I'm not just a boy, small young boy. I'm now somebody because I can draw this thing. Amma told me that. So Amma validates who I am. So that self-esteem, let's call it self-worth, is very important for every human being. Okay, for an animal not needed, for a human being absolutely needed. Why? Because choice, ahankara, mamakAra all going together. No ahankara, no mamakAra for an animal, no choice. For animal, all these things not there. For human beings, very important. That's why parents have to be very aware of it, to see to what extent, how am I helping my child emotionally or not helping my child? Okay, so this is how ahankara builds. Yeah, I wanted to just do that. And then what happened? Trust is also there. For a child to grow, just imagine, the child is held in two hands. You know what? It's actually smiling at you. If the child knew, oh, my father is holding me with two hands, or now he's holding with one hand, oh my God, he may drop me. Fortunately, the child, he doesn't think like that. That's why it's able to smile. And the father is throwing the child like this, the child is actually smiling. We can't handle that situation because we are too aware of all the possibilities. We're too knowledgeable of all possibilities. But the child, because it is not aware of these things, it can smile. You throw the child up and it smiles actually. You think about it. The child, that means the child doesn't know what is falling. Correct, Mira? It doesn't know what is falling. Otherwise, it won't smile when you throw the baby up. No chance. But once it falls down, this, that, breaks its leg, etc., then this throwing up and all, it will say, then it will start throwing up also. That will happen. So you see how it works. It's amazing. And so then the trust, that's because the trust, why I said that, it trusts those two hands that are holding the baby. And that is why it is happily surviving. Trust is so important. Yeah. And so that's why dysfunctional families, where parents, father, mother are fighting, screaming at each other, and constantly throwing stuff at home and all, the child becomes nervous wreck. Chinna vayasileye. It's confused because the unsafe environment. Somehow it knows something is not right. Something is not right, and it keeps going on and on. So that trust starts eroding in time. In time, it starts eroding. And of course, with all these problems and all, going to the doctor, this and that, it knows. Previously, I thought the whole world belongs to me. That's why wherever any store I go, pick up. Anybody will pick up stuff. Now it's all boundary. Boundaries are clearly drawn. Oh, that's mine. This is yours. This is my house. That is your house. This is your car. My car. This is mine. mamakAra is so full blown. Okay. So this is ahankara. That ahankara builds slowly to a point where my identity is called ahankara. Let's call it this way. My identity about myself, fundamental identity about myself, including my accomplishments. I did this, I accomplished this, I'm a PhD, this, that. Also part of that same ahankara. It is an essential part of my identity, including my family lineage and whatever this varna lineage, ashrama, everything, all identity, strong identity, country, patriotism requires this ahankara, obviously. Strong ahankara. Okay. Now, this, this Parameshwar uncle in Houston said one thing one time. He said that the father is playing a game with this small crawling baby. Crawling means baby who already knows a few things, apple, everything it knows. And you know what they're playing? The game is like this. Father says, come, touch me. And the child comes crawling, and then does this, taps. And then father says, Adil, no, you did not touch me. You touched my leg. And the child is smiling. You touch me, then the child thinks a little bit. Then comes crawling. Very good. But no, you did not touch me. You touched my head. Child is smiling. Then comes like this. Very good job. You did a good job, but you did not touch me. You touched my nose. Like that, it seems that game they were playing. That means the child is already. That means you really cannot touch me. In time, it's meant to understand that. Okay. When my sister was young, my grandmother told me, don't take the child in front of a mirror. கண்ணாடிக்கு முன்னாடி காட்டக்கூடாது. கரெக்டா ரமாஜி is saying, yeah, all of you are.
They don't show.
Huh?
For the first year, they don't show.
Why? Why you should not know the mirror?
They didn't tell us why.
They didn't tell us why. They didn't tell us why.
They told us not to show the mirror to the baby.
Not to show the mirror to the baby. ஏன்னா அகங்காரம் இல்லம்மா. அகங்காரம் இல்லாதனால என்ன ஆகுது? It doesn't know what it is. It is me in the reflect, nothing, no idea. And what will happen? Ahankara will build by looking at yourself. Oh, this is me. Oh, this is me. I touch it, and my another hand goes up. After a while, it's, oh, that is me. So it actually gives me a self-identity. The mirror, let that self-identity take a little longer to build. This is my reasoning. My reasoning. Nobody told me all this. I'm just reasoning it out.
Some years we used to talk about the mirror.
Abdiya?
And
Yeah. So it may
if
get
the
a
mirror was not there, what would have happened?
if mirror were not there. But here for a child, that let it be free. Otherwise, it'll start getting complexes. Who knows? Let those complexes take a little longer to come. Correct? Anyway, we are going to have complexes. Correct? Veeraji, correct. Anyway, so don't throw it to all this color, dark, black, fair, all these problems we're going to have anyway. So let it postpone on that. That is why I think they said, don't show the mirror. It can't figure it out. And they will never. Now, once I took my sister, and my grandmother told me, and then it's still there in my memory. So anyway, that's okay. This is ahankara. Then ahankarta. Ahamkarta, ataha ahankara. Iti ahankara. I'm clearly a doer. Who did this? I did it. That's my painting. I. So this I is now very much there. By 3 years, 4 years, etc. It's very good. And then I want to accomplish more and more. I can study. I passed exams. I'm going from 3rd grade to 4th grade to 5th grade. I'm very proud about myself. All these things come. Healthy. A child needs all these things. Needed ahankara. Useful ahankara. Ahankara-less man does not exist. Not exist. And only an insane person, that person can become insane if you don't have ahankara. Because boundary illama poidum. I don't know who I am and I don't know who you are, and I start messing up the whole thing. Conversations will all be not understandable by anybody. Adamari I don't. So first point, ahankara builds from not, from zero. And then ahankara is needed very much. And healthy self-worth and self-identity is needed. And that healthy ahankara, if we can call it.
Just Balavat, Unmatavat. Maybe.
Okay. Or Unmataha Balavat. The old man, this one Ramuji is saying, an old man is like a baby, or Unmatavat. Baby is like an old man. Okay. Jnani Unmatavat Balavat. They say Jnani also is Balavat. I mean, I think you can extrapolate and guess why they say like that. Okay. So, ahankara. It's useful, it's needed. But Shastram is saying ahankara, mamakAra is a cause of problems. Okay, it's a cause of problems that the human being experiences. In fact, today morning I quoted. I don't know why I quoted, but I quoted this Podgata Bhashyam.
I told Gopalji.
Bhagavad Gita, Podgata Bhashyam. He's giving an introduction to the entire Bhagavad Gita, to Narayana and Meera and all. He's giving an introduction. It's a big introduction. And there he says, I've written the mantras down here. Praninam shoka mohadi samsara bija bhuta doshodbhava karana pradarshanaarthatvena vyakyeya grantha. He's saying this whole Bhagavad Gita must be looked at as something, or at least this first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, where this guy is going through emotions and finally he just says, I'm going to stop what I'm doing. He's saying, Shoka Mohadi Samsara Bija Bhuta. He says, the samsara is symbolized by Shoka and Moha. Shoka means sorrow, Moha means confusion. Lack of clarity about what I want to achieve and what is my goal in life, nothing I'm clear about. The Karana, the cause of this Shoka and Moha, Pradarshanartham Vyakyayaha Grantaha Adhyaya. That first chapter of Arjuna Vishada Yoga must be interpreted that way, he says. Then he says, look at this. Within quotes, Aham Yesham means I am their person. I am their, I belong to them. Aham Yesham. Mama Ete. These people are Mama. They are my people. They are my people. Okay. Aham Yesham Mama Ete Iti Evam Bhranti is come Bhranti. Okay. Bhranti Pratyaya Nimittas. Okay. Bhranti. It is just he is confused. Shankaracharya is saying. That means what? To say that they are belong to me and I belong to them is confusion, he says. Right up front. Sneha Vichedadi Nimittau Atmanaha. Because now Sneha Vicheda is going to happen. The disruption of this love between people he has, and that's going to be disrupted drastically because of this war. Okay. Katham Bhishmamaham Sankhe Dronancha Madhusudana. That is where the problem. He's thinking. So many people are there, but Prathama Malla Nyaya. You know what Prathama Malla Nyaya is, right? Prathama Malla means wrestler. Wrestler. Those days wrestling was there very much. Prathama Malla means the reigning world champion. World champion. The Prathama Malla Nyaya means if I want to prove that I am the world's wrestling champion, what should I do?
Should defeat the.
Huh?
I defeat the best.
Enema?
I defeat the best.
Yes.
That's all. I don't have to go to every neighbor and every wrestler in Vadavalli, then Coimbatore, then Chennai. And I don't have to do all that. If I can beat this guy, Prathama Malla, then I am the champ. That's all over. Therefore, he is saying that Sneha Vicheda, he is thinking of Bhishma and Drona. That is where the problem is. He's going to kill tens of thousands of people. That's these all small problems. But Bhishma killing is a problem, in whose lap I was sleeping. And I grew up, he told me so many stories. Bhishma Stuti. I think Bhishma must have told that to these young Pandavas, maybe good stories also. And Karna, this Drona, these two are very important for him, obviously, because Guru. This Guru Hatya is very interesting. I don't know how many stories are there where there's Guru Hatya they talk about. I've not heard of, I am not aware of anything like that. Guru Hatya. Mahabharatna varade. Okay, then Kadam Bhishma Mahan Sankhya Ityadina. Then Shoka Mohabhyam hi Abhibhuta Viveka Vijnanaha. Okay, so Abhibhuta. So this Shoka and Moha has clouded his intellect. Arjuna's intellect. Okay, because this fear is there. Therefore, I am what? My duty is gone. I have forgotten my duty. I am already afraid. I am already confused and I have already assumed that I should not do anything to you. Even though I should be condemning you because you are doing a dharmic act. Anani way of talking. The same thing. Afraid to condemn where one should condemn. Okay. Fear. And then he says, Swataha eva Kshatra dharme yuddhe pravrittaha api. That means even though this man is a Kshatriya and even though he's come ready to fight the war, his guns are all primed and his arrows, bone arrows are all primed. Smell of gunpowder is very much in the air. Pravrittaha api. Tasmat yuddhat upara Rama, he says. From that war, this man wants to take off. This Arjuna, number one warrior of India at that time, wants to run away from the battlefield. That's what Shankara is saying. And he's saying, this is also due to confusion and ahankara and mamakAra. Ahankara and mamakAra. Mama yete yesham aham. I am there and they are mine. Which is so hard, yeah. Our whole life is all aham yete mama and aham yesham. This is all our whole life is. And Shankara is saying, and this is the cause of problems. That shows that we have room to understand our relationships. Yeah. Okay. So this is there. So now, Shastram says, Naiva kinchit karomi iti. I am not doing anything. Abdin or goal, it has given a goal. You are not a karta. You are not a karta. அதுவும் இருக்கு கான்ட்ரடிக்டரியா இருக்கு எல்லாமே. நஹி கஷ்டித் க்ஷணமபி ஜாது திஷ்டத்ய கர்ம கிருத் காரியதே ஹ்யவச கர்ம சர்வ பிரகிருதி ஜைகுணைஹி. That is for people like Arjuna who wants to run it. You can't, there's no such thing. I want to do nothing. And he's saying there's no such thing as that. You can sit quietly, but sitting quietly also is a very, very difficult action, actually speaking. Yeah. After a while, you will say, I want to start an association of sannyasis in Rishikesh. Because he can't sit quietly and he wants to help. Because Kshatriya Dharma is to just do something for somebody else. And he can't keep quiet without doing that. Apatama. So, Shastram has given a goal for us. Naiva kinchit karomi. Yukto manyeta tattvavit. The wise person knows that he or she does not do anything, despite pashyan, srinman, prishan, jigran, ashnan, gachan, swashan, pralapan, rishigan, grindan, unmishan, nimishan, api. Correct? Despite all this very active life, naiva kinchit karomi. That means now it is giving me something to think about. Giving me something to say, okay, so I think my family is an end in itself, and all this protecting my relationships and my progeny and all that is I'm good at that maybe, but still that's not the end in itself. Shastra is giving putting a nice challenge in front of us. Correct? It's challenging us, saying this is what the truth is. So you have to now readjust your life. Okay, like that. Krishna is going to tell us. Yeah. Okay. Now. So therefore, ahankara rahita Jeevanam, that's what I wanted to say. There is something called ahankara rahita Jeevanam. Ahankara now we understood. Now ahankara rahita Jeevanam, because naiva kinchit karomiti. Yeah. The naiva kinchit karomiti means the ahankara which is very much alive in me, which I have, with which I say I do things, I don't do things, I accomplish things, I present, I don't present, I choose my life. I decide what I want for myself. And if I don't get it, I go through all kinds of stuff. And so that ahankara, the way I thought of ahankara as, maybe it's not right. That is what Shastra has indicated by making these statements. Naiva kinchit karomiti, etc. How can Shastram say Naiva kinchit karomiti? I am studying the Shastram right now. And you are telling, I am listening to you, hey Krishna. You're telling me listening, I'm not listening or what? You're not talking or what? Krishna will say, yes, I'm not talking. But you can't say I'm not listening. Correct? So, nice target it has given us, challenge it has given us. Okay. Therefore, ahankara rahita Jeevanam is something that I need, that is there, I need to understand. and mamakAra rahita Jeevanam, because both are two sides of the same coin. Because why the two are mentioned now? ahankAra rahita. See, I may be willing to sacrifice whatever. It's okay. But mamakAra is there. As long as you people are happy, I'm happy.
mamakAra is.
I don't need anything, AC and all. I don't need. I sweat, doesn't matter. But I want you to be happy. The parents will do that.
Is difficult. mamakAra.
Our elders were all like that.
Yeah.
Number our grandparents, it's correct. Veera and others. Our grandparents were all like that. They were all always giving. I never saw them enjoying and all that. Even a game of cards, we will play cards. They will not join the game. They will just sit quietly. My tata used to sit quietly.
There was no concept of enjoyment. But always they were focused to keep the family happy. That's all.
Correct. So Rukminiji is saying there's no concept of enjoyment. Family should be secure and happy.
Yes, that was there.
So that we can probably say that ahankAra, which can accomplish so much for itself, said, I'd rather accomplish things for others. And that's the way to go. That's what they said. Which is actually good. For them, Vedanta will be easier to understand, I think. Because it's a life of sacrifice, really speaking. I mean, all Indian parents, I would say.
Actually, they didn't make a special lesson to content Vedanta class.
Correct.
Maybe even to hear even today, Vedanta from the words of a rickshaw driver or a farmer.
Correct.
Common man.
So Ramoji is saying, even from the mouth of a rickshaw driver or a farmer or anybody else who's not studied much at all, anything much at all, other than the mother tongue, he doesn't know any other language. And sometimes the Vedanta comes out of their mouth. That's what he's saying. Yeah, so that shows how important this ahankAra rahita Jeevanam is. Yeah. Somehow it gives you that feeling, that idea that, you know what, I'm not isolated. Nobody is isolated from each other. There is some whole that's working, and we're all part of the whole. All these ideas will be automatic. Correct? Okay. So we know now that how ahankAra has come about or evolved and why it is important. We also know that ahankAra rahita Jeevanam there is something like that. And therefore, mamakAra rahita Jeevanam is there. அப்படின்னு நமக்கு தெரியும். Okay. Now, how to do this ahankAra rahita? How? This is the thing. How? Can you take some guesses? How? I mean, you're all Vedantis, you lead family people, you had children, they all grew up and all that. So you can take some guesses now. Any guess? ahankAra rahita Jeevanam. See, Cholungama, Mira, tell me.
What I feel is, Guruji, that the appreciation because of our attachment, I feel even if I am sacrificing for the family, that also I feel is the face of ahankAra, because I gain happiness out of that, right? So it is not the same when it comes to the neighbor's child, or it's not the same when it comes to somebody else. The sacrifice could be only for your family. So that itself I see as a face of ahankAra only. So once this is understood probably, it's easy to drop, like it is all relative. Once I understand that it's very relative, and then I think it is easy to drop it, because.
Okay, so that is correct. That is, ahankAra is never gone, even for that grandfather or grandmother who has sacrificed all their life, constantly thinking about children. Then now grandchildren are there, and so constantly just the tentacles are all who's coming. Oh, we should cook for them, whatever they're coming up. Long time I'm seeing them, and the whole everything, they are taking care of everything like that. Yeah. Fine, that is fine. ahankAra is not, we're not saying ahankAra is not gone, but There is a teenager who is going to college, etc., and he goes to college and he's finishing college. What about that person's ahankara? Compared to, say, that old person who is taking care of the family. What about that person's ahankara? Can you even make a comparison of the two ahankaras? The strength of the ahankaras means the I attitude, the I-ness, strength of that I-ness. I think that boy or girl, doesn't matter, who's just about to finish college and going to go on a job, ahankara is very pronounced. I can do attitude is there. I'm raring to go. I'm raring to go. I'm out to conquer the world. That kind of ahankara is there. Good ahankara, no doubt. But the ahankara is very much there. Rajas is very much there. Correct? The old man and old woman don't have rajas at all. They are sattvic people. Sattvic ahankara they have. This guy is a rajasic ahankara. Correct? Tamasu irkalam. But just to keep it simple, rajas, I'm ready to go do what I have no problem with that. I'm not afraid or anything. I'm ready. Okay. I'm ready to work anywhere, etc. Okay. That means what, Meera? Then, so after so many years, this guy becomes a grandfather. And let's assume he will become like today's grandfather. And ahankara will be subdued at that point. No longer trying to claim this or that. More giving. Right now, he's not that giving. Right now, he's more taking. He's a consumer. He's a number one consumer in this society. Because he's now wanting stuff, demanding stuff.
Try to reconstruct the grahastha concept is to reduce the ahankara.
Okay, this is the point I'm coming next. Therefore, this grahastha ashrama is such an important ashrama in our life, in our growth. This varnashrama dharma and this ashrama dharma in particular is such an important thing. People say marriage, what is marriage and all that? This is one primary reason. Well, let's explore that a little bit. Okay. Why and all that. So ahankara irukku. Two rajasic ahankaras are there. They come together, initially honeymoon, but then collision course. Because two ahankaras, muttrale, tale muttikralon. In Tamil we say tale muttikral. Muttradhu irukku. It has to be there, it will be there. So, and what happens, Swamiji will say it all the time. Two egos have to rub with each other. And that is the only way all these rough edges will get softened. Correct? This is the way we look at marriage. Marriage as an ashrama. Ashrama means...
That's why we say that that's only where the maths become wrong. 1 + 1 is not 2.
Oh.
It becomes 1.
1 + 1 is equal to 1.
It has to become 1.
It has to become 1,
that
not 2.
That is the goal of the family.
The goal of the family. Plus 1 is 1.
That's why even serious, it's a snooker for us, here.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so I think we appreciate the importance of the grahastha ashrama. Therefore, in the grahastha ashrama, whether it works out or doesn't work out, Parango, look at this. If it works out, that's fine. When your karma is in your favor, happily married life. Okay. For many years, that's good. Something is working in your favor. And if it doesn't work out, children are born, they're going to college. Now they are all there just for the sake of children. They're living together. Correct? We see so many stories like this. Then what?
Nth marriage is happening everywhere.
Nth marriage wouldn't go. Just the first marriage is like this. There is tension in the house. The child also knows about this tension. Okay? If it is just palpable tension, then what? Then our Shastram says, try to make use of it. That this is how life can be. This is how bad life can get. Because generally, in a family, married life, marriage has to work out. Otherwise, what is the use of living? That idea comes, So, our Shastram will not say, okay, sign the papers and go for the next one. Agni Sakshi Kalyanam aidithu. Agni Sakshi vera. and Agni is gone. Now I have to call that fellow and get permission for divorce and all that. Now our Shastra will not accept all that. They will somehow put up with each other, live, etc. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Can separate also, not a problem. But this doesn't mean a second marriage will work out. It need not work out because the fundamental problem is with me or
Yes.
them, her, him.
Richard Button married Elizabeth Taylor third time.
Yeah, we see all these things. Because for us, Swamiji will ask a question. Is marriage a means or an end? Is it a means or an end? Very simple question it is, but an important question. Is it a sadhanam or is it sadhyam? Sadhyam means to be achieved. Or is it a means to something else to be achieved? Okay. If I understand this clearly, then marriage can become meaningful. Otherwise, Swamiji would make the statement, marriage is, if I have to struggle to keep the marriage together, and that is my goal all the time, then it's going to be a struggle all the time. Only when there is giving and taking, okay? Some time ago, I was preparing some notes on marriage, Hindu Vivaha, what it is. We chant mantras and all that, the married couple and all, they chant on 1 day, 2 days. And I actually looked up, I was studying these mantras. You want to see those mantras?
Marriage mantras.
Just 2-3 mantras I'll tell you, okay? See, there is Kanya Danam, okay? Then there is Pani Grahanam, then there is Mangalya Dharanam, then there is Laja Homa, where Pori Podva, Laja Homa. Then there is Sakhya Homa, and then there is something called Saptapadi. 7 steps.
7 steps with the stone.
Huh? The mantras they chant? When I read these things, Swamiji told us once in some class, and I was actually, it is stuck in the mind, and I actually wrote some notes. I'll tell you what this mantra is. See, this whole Hindu marriage is to say, 2 people are coming together, and the promise is, you will be my best friend, and I will be your best friend. Friendship. It has nothing to do with husband, wife, and all. There is no word mentioned here. Pati, Patni, etc. Friendship is the main thing. Okay. And they have some mantras which talk about what kind of friendship. Okay. I was looking at it yesterday. Look at this. Okay. Look at this mantra. Okay. Okay. Sakha saptapada bhava. Sakhayo saptapada babuva. Sakha. Sakhyam te gameyam. Sakhyat te mayosham. So may you be committed to friendship. And then may you not take your eyes away from that goal of friendship. Friendship equals then. The equals, nobody can say I'm bigger than you or superior to you and all that. There's no question of that superiority. Again, Sakhyat me mayoshtaha. May you not deviate from friendship with me. Okay. Idana samayava, sankalpavahi, etc. Then some examples they give. Tyauraham prithvi tvam. I am the space. Tyaur. And who are you? You are Prithvi. Just like Prithvi and atmosphere are together all the time. There's always consonance between the two. Okay, there is one example. Then Retoham, Retu Bhrit Aham Tvam. I am the seed, and you are the land that nourishes the seed. Okay. Then paragraph. Manoham Asmi Vaktvam. Manoham Asmi. I am mind. And who are you? You are Vak. Your speech. That means what? The mind and speech have to be in consonance with each other. Satyam vadishyami, Ritam vadishyami. Satyam vadishyami is speaking the truth. Okay. Ritam vadishyami is what? Simply knowing, I think something is true, and so I say that is the truth, but it is my responsibility to find out what I think is the truth is really the truth. That is called Ritam Vadishyami. Hira. That's called Ritam Adhishyami. Why two things must be there? Ritam is not Satyam. When Ritam and Satyam come together, they mean two different things. One is truth, another is verified truth. Puts a lot of burden. And whenever I explain this, I am reminded of WhatsApp messages forwarded. Ella alritam da. Unritam da. Pure. Because unverified. Satyam nu solittu na forward pandren. But it's really unritam. It turns out 90, they say 90, whatever, 5% plus WhatsApp University. They say WhatsApp University. I like these words they came up with. This fellow is a student of WhatsApp University. You know, Narayananji.
So Guruji, our Veda Guruji made one comment yesterday about Ritam, Satyam and Dharma. What he said is, I mean, in a different, what you just explained, he said Ritam is what you feel as the truth inside, and Satyam is what you express it, Vak, and Dharmam is how you live it. So then he says that is why it's called Ritam, Satyam, Dharmam.
Okay. Yeah. Correct. So it is not that straightforward. I can't simply, it's like Swami will give the example. How should I go to Isha Yoga? Go this way. Chuma, go this way. Whether you really know that that's the way to go or not. Just go this way, and everywhere those days before the maps and all, we used to ask people, how do you go here? How do you go here? People were our our Google Maps, right? And so Ritam na Satyama, that guy is telling the truth, no doubt. But he's only telling Satyam, not Ritam. He doesn't really know. Abdi ponga and solo. Okay. So Van me manasi pratishtita mano me vachi pratishtitam avir mayedhi vedasya maani ista. Van me manasi pratishtita. Pang, may my speech be manasi pratishtita, may it be situated, means may it be in consonance with the mind. May I not say one thing and think of something else, and then do something else. Very profound mantras these are. So manoham asmi vaktvam, then samaham asmi ritvam. I am Samaveda, you are Rigveda. Etc. Vetavai, Priyai, Putraya, Vetava, Ehi, Sunrate. Maybe have wonderful children. Okay. Oh, lovely lady of noble speech. So it's important for us for the newlywed people to know this. You know why? Because should there be any problem, should this guy abuse the woman in the marriage, this lady can say, do you remember our marriage? You chanted mantras very well and all. They said, your relative said, oh, my son chants mantras very well. Do you know what mantras you chanted? Samoham, Riktvam, and all you chanted. Do you remember all that or no? Huh? Jauraham, Prithivitvam. Do you remember that? She should challenge this man.
Can I say something?
Yeah, please.
So, many places in the West, they have this pre-marital counseling.
Oh.
They're engaged and they then go for counseling before the marriage. And I would wonder, what is there? But now that you're standing, it just struck me, it would be so beautiful if Hindu couples who are going to get married have this kind of initiation before. And then on the day of the wedding, it is so meaningful.
Correct.
We all, I can talk for myself, got married knowing nothing. Chanted everything, walked everything, knowing nothing, right? And I think it would make a huge shift in two human beings coming into this institution of
Correct.
marriage with the right attitude.
Correct.
Right? From day one.
Correct.
So we need to do that work before.
I think so. I don't know if you heard what Swapna was saying. Yeah, you heard her. Okay. So she's saying all of us Indians getting married should be given that so-called pre-marital counseling or the during marriage counseling at least. Don't try to finish the marriage in 2 hours and let it prolong. Have some people come and talk to them about these things.
They should be explained in Sanskrit mantras. Nowadays they chant. Nowadays the marriages are happening for Photoshop video.
Photo.
You know, ತಾಲಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಕೂಡ ಮುಹೂರ್ತ ವೇಳೆಯೆಲ್ಲ பார்த்து they do the, you know,
Correct.
ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಿಗಳೆಲ್ಲ
I've seen that.
ಅಗ್ನಿಕುಂಡಂ ಎಲ್ಲ ರಿಮೂವ್ பண்ணிட்டு போட்டோக்கு எப்படி ஆங்கிளா இருக்குமோ அதுக்கு வேண்டி பண்றாங்க.
Yeah, it has come to a point where the cameraman is deciding what to happen next, how it should be done. And the pandita also is somewhat helpless because this is what everybody wants. What can
panditaவே cameraman support பண்ணும்.
So yeah, so I think that we should make it a point to tell the whatever, if we can politely tell, hey guys, look, the 20% of the marriages are ending in divorce.
Yeah,
Not 20.
Okay,
80%.
80%. India.
Yes,
Really?
yeah, yes.
80% marriage is in divorce.
Oh,
Swamiji is always called.
okay.
You know, I have been seeing couples in America. 90% have filed papers. What about the 4 papers you think? No, they are waiting for the papers to file next.
Correct. No, fair enough. The point is that the risk is high now. You can't say it is my son and my daughter. They won't do this. They won't do that.
Because in India, ladies are not that free or that independent to live.
Right.
They are what you call succumbing to the pressure of social pressures.
Correct.
And the
Fair enough.
and just continuing with
proper validation, values, ஒண்ணுமே தெரியாம பாவங்கள் நிறைய பேர் கஷ்டப்படுறாங்க. Both sides.
So we'll be aware that there is some possibility that if you are conducting a marriage of your children, or if a good friend of yours is doing it, or their daughter, granddaughter, grandchild is getting, then let's make it different, guys. You know very well, everybody knows very well the reality. Let's not ignore the reality. There's a beautiful way of doing it. Whatever, something we can do that. So why I said Grastha Ashrama is, he also mentioned it. This ahankAra, mamakAra. We have to come back to the topic, correct? And if I am committed to friendship, like the mantra has said, that means what? I have to let go of my chota desires and all. Correct? Narayanan, go ahead.
There's one more thing on that Sakasaki Baba in the marriage. Because after the marriage done, they have gone and shown Arundhati Vashishta system, right? You have pointed out. The uniqueness of that system is that both rotate around each other.
Correct.
Correct.
If the man says, I am the planet, you are the satellite, the lady should say, buzz off. I know what is this Arundhati Nyaya and all. You don't come up with your philosophy. You keep it in your office. Here, both of us, we have to help each other. One day you do dishes, another day I'll do dishes. That is how it should be.
And this pre-marriage counseling, Guruji, pre-marriage counseling is mandatory as far as I know in Indian Christian marriages.
Oh.
Couple of my friends who got married, they mandatorily had to go through the pre-marriage counseling, and the father of the priest has to certify that they have undergone, then only the marriage happened.
Oh, this is merit economic. Talk more about that.
But both of them are Malayalis. I do not know it is specific to Kerala. But this is what I heard from them. For them,
And to add to that, Guruji, there is a new trend also now. They are organizing for a kind of well-known Upanyasakas who come, and during the wedding, they are actually giving the essence of the mantras to the entire audience with the bride and the groom.
Yeah. Correct. They do that. And in the US, in 3 marriages, they called me. Vivek's marriage. They asked me to speak. Then my cousin's son's marriage in California, I spoke about the purpose of marriage. And I quoted Swamiji's one joke. He will say, is marriage a word, W-O-R-D, word or a sentence? Is marriage a word or a sentence? How do you answer that question? Is marriage a word or a sentence? Somebody will say, it can be a meaningful word, ashrama. It can be a meaningful ashrama, word, or it can be a life sentence. Life sentence, it can be sentence for life. What to do?
I put that.
Or silence.
Enama?
Or silence.
Or silence. Silent that is managing the sentence. That is managing the sentence. Silence.
Manage the word and the sentence.
So,
Be silent.
so sentence means it is complete. Word means it is incomplete.
Yeah. So it is just a pun. It's a play of
It's
words.
a fun. Yeah.
It's a pun. And Enama, what is Ramuji?
Sorry.
But you're right. So you have to, that education is needed because a lot of basics are not there for children.
Kerala Christian.
Even non-marriage, nutrition, they don't know. I gave a talk on nutrition. The kids loved it.
Kerala
What to eat?
Christian.
Why simply eating chips? This what is the chips called?
Lace.
No, lace.
Lace.
Huh?
Lace.
They used to fry it a lot and all that. It's kurkure chips. Yes, kurkure. And it was a big to tell them, to impress upon them what is proper food. It's not easy at all. Where will you start from? You can't simply say have this sprouted beans and all. No. I showed them a video of impacts of alcohol. College students. Beautiful video found on YouTube on the body, Gopalji, and how it affects the brain and all that. The video was fantastic. The children loved it. Children loved it.
Coca-Cola is better cleaner than the
Correct.
Sanifresh.
Correct. Correct.
I think there's a minimum amount of emotional maturity that is needed to take the next step of going into grihastha. I think many of us we grow up, we are successful, we educationally we've achieved everything. Financially also we land up in a good job, good salary, everything. Think age is also up there. Oh, I'm ready to take the next step. But emotionally there are so many things that it's I understand that emotional growth is a journey, but I think there is a basic prerequisite to get married. If two individuals who have not worked out some of their problems come together, it is a mess. It's
But Swapna, this is how it is.
Yeah.
There is no recipe. At the minute you are of some age, oh, பையனுக்கு 26 வயசு ஆயிடுத்து, பொண்ணுக்கு 23 வயசு ஆயிடுத்து, கல்யாணம் பண்ணணும். Over. Where is the discussion?
That's why.
There is no discussion. The age is a bar. Age is a criterion. Over. So she's saying, no, you got to go beyond that. Are my children prepared for a married life? People should ask.
No, not the marriageable girl and boy should ask themselves. That they don't do. That's why we just follow like a sheep.
Correct.
That's what somebody always say.
Correct.
My father went to school, I went to school. He went to college, he got a job, I got a job.
Correct.
He married, I married.
Correct.
But the problem is, technology, nowadays children are brilliant academically. They know so much than all of us. And career-wise, worldly wise, they seem to. They live together in Delhi, Gurgaon. I have seen in front of my house, there is so many PG houses.
Correct.
Boys and girls living together, talk to anybody.
Oh.
I asked them, are you married? You can see boy and girl living.
Oh.
No, auntie, we are living together. Ashish and they are planning to get married.
Oh.
They will
Nice.
say.
Nice.
And they are living together.
Okay.
And
So
okay,
Bangalore, Meera, you think you can Narayanan living together, right? Must be
it's
big in
quite
Bangalore.
common in living relationship.
Huh?
It has become a common thing.
Yeah.
It's quite common.
Quite
It's
common.
quite common. Yes, it's quite
Quite
common.
common. And
Oh, so they will what? They will rent an apartment and unmarried couple will be living?
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Oh,
And the parents also know, right?
Oh, parents
And
know.
then they perform Punjabis and so lavish marriages.
Oh.
The children earn so much, parents also rich.
Okay.
They conduct lavish marriages, the pandal erection and the food and guests and dress, beautician.
Right.
So
Nowadays,
vulgarity of the richness.
Vulgarity is there.
exhibit.
Yeah.
Okay, marriage is over. Okay, after 1.5 years, 2 years, if you bump into that girl, what happened? Auntie, me and Ashish, we were not pulling up. We decided to
Me and Ashish are not okay. And decided to separate.
It pains me. My
Ah.
God, what can go wrong?
Right.
You were living together, you know each other, you
Yeah.
were working together, and some of them studied together, you know. And in olden days, father and parents decide the marriage and they send the girl. They don't ask, you like this guy, can I arrange your marriage? The girl has no say. She walks behind a stranger.
Yeah.
And she lived successfully, survived the marriage, all the grinding of grihashram.
Right.
It's the lack of how does the education and the freedom and the awareness of so many counseling. We have the counselor. I don't think your parents' time we had counselors and psychologists so many.
Right.
Were you
Right.
were there?
Correct.
And do you think they didn't undergo any marriage mental problem?
Right.
We didn't think that it was a problem. But here now everything is a connotation. It is a problem.
Right.
We have to-
But I think, Rukminiji, times have changed and we are living in a different world, right? So we have to also adapt to the different world, right? We cannot keep on giving examples of our grandparents. We can definitely take inspiration, take what worked, and try to implement in this setting, right? So I think the bottom line is it's a very quick turnover of things, right? Look at our society. Look at that. Everything is at an instant button, right? I put that, it comes to me. So that's how the child is growing up. I press this, it is here. So that's the psychology of working. So I am not going to adjust. If that guy doesn't listen to me, to hell with it. I have a job. I financially have, so there's no emotional connect. So I think the basic value of what marriage is, or when two people getting, I think it's lost because none of us are educating our children about this. It's just for them, it's just like another button, right? So that's their mindset. So I think it's a societal, I think we are failing as adults to, I think, put that appreciation in human beings, younger human beings, that this ashrama, it's different. It's not like everything else. So I think it's a wider, it's a more, it needs work. It needs work. That's all. I don't think we can simply say, this generation is this and that.
It
needs
a lot of
strengths. They are definitely more matured than our generation at that age.
correct.
They are more aware. They are more
Guruji,
Yeah.
I had a question. How is today's scenario of marriage going to help when this there should be some room for ahankara and mamakAra to be realized, right?
Right.
That this is causing me problem. So how will it help?
Yeah, so this discussion got started. Grahastha was brought about as one of the solutions for the sublation of ahankara and mamakAra. Why a marriage can do that? Because a married person can relax in a marriage. Only one person in the world is needed to approve me, to say you're fine. You're fine the way you are. That one person says fine, I feel good about it. And I say you're also fine the way you are. That's it, over. It doesn't matter what the word says about me. That fact that you have told it is enough. That's the purpose of marriage. That is why that is the purpose of the marriage from an emotional perspective and a spiritual perspective. I must learn to relax. Only then I'll have time for all these other things.
Correct.
If I'm constantly fighting battles, even in marriage, I see people, there are people who are so poor that they're constantly living on a monthly basis. Monthly salary, vandada, they can do something, whatever they want to do, they can do. Otherwise, they will not pay fees for the child will not go to school. All this happens. But some of them I find they stay united. They talk through it, they struggle, they work hard, you do this, do that. Sir, whatever it is, whatever little they can do, they will do. That because that they feel secure in the family.
You know, I have
Secure.
seen my Balwadi parents, kids' parents, they quarrel. That fellow will be drunk and the child will go and get BD or किसी अंकल के पास पैसा देके दारू खरीद के बाप को पिलाएगा. You ask mother and son why you are killing him. Madam, वो पैसे ही मर जाएगा. वो मारता है. Even then they come out and they live as a unit again together. Whereas we educated society, they know they can sort out because they are.
So therefore, we have to go back to the fundamental question: is marriage a means or an end? We have to ask. If marriage is an end, no marriage will work out. Every marriage will end. Okay. Therefore, marriage cannot be an end. It has to be a means to an end, and it has to be a means to an end. And so, what is that end? Therefore, even the persons who had bad marriages, if the person begins to know what is the goal of marriage, what is the purpose of life, etc., there is a very good chance that it can relieve the person gradually of all the emotional problems and no longer judging himself, herself as I am a failure, I am no good. All these possibilities are there. That is why even jailers, when jailers are lectured on some of these topics about life and all that, they have this transformation happens in them because they never had that opportunity to hear these things. And so Grasthashrama is there. Then so that's what Swami said. Rubbing. This rub has to be there. Just because you have a smooth marriage doesn't mean things are going to. You're happy the way you're happy. Everything worked out well. Our children are settled, and so Shine Punya Martiloka Mishanti is going to apply to that person also. Happy family. Okay. So Grahastha Ashrama, we said you had something to say, one of you, I think, right? Or can we move on and conclude? I think time's up. It's already 5:20 ma. So we'll conclude. So Grahastha Ashrama, all these outgoing activities, outreach activities, children are taught to help others who are suffering, etc. Okay, very important. The minute we do that, what will happen is, oh, I'm so lucky. I even have proper dresses. I have 4, 5, 6, 7 dresses to wear. And the idea of the child gets, I'm blessed. I have a home, I have parents, this, that. Okay. Ahankara will just come down. Grahastha Ashrama, ahankara will come down. Children, etc., growing up, ahankara will constantly come down. Will be there. That is definite. Then, of course, Shastram irukave. Shravanam is always there. And that will put the final nail in the coffin, if we can use that word, on this ahankara.
There should be some kind of syllabus in the curriculum.
Rukmini aunty is talking about the Indian human resources syllabus and all. She's talking about college and school syllabus.
Only I had only one point to make.
Narayanan, I put this as a next project. You know, Meera and Narayanan are doing a project in Bengaluru to do a couple of things. Let them tell you that. And so this is third project. Coimbatore, another project coming up.
What I wanted to say was, today, like what Ramuji also said, this marriages is a high risk proposition. It's very risky, and like what Rukminiji also was saying is that living in relationship at least tries to in this direction of trying to make a marriage work, living in relationships are now looked upon as so that at least you get to know each other before you get married.
Oh,
Right. So you're trying to reduce the risk by a living in relationship, not that it gives you a guarantee. Right. The third thing which I wanted to say was that are we preparing the proper ground for the marriage to work? I mean, from the parents' perspective, because the life is so competitive at every stage. We keep on building up on the ahankAra, saying that you have to be the best in your studies, you have to be the best in school, you have to be the best in college, you have to be the best in your job, and suddenly you go into a marriage where you have to sublimate your ahankAra. It's not good. You can't switch on, switch off like that.
no, it won't work. And see, the children won't listen to parents. Obviously, that chemistry will not work, especially when they're in college. So I tried this experiment. I may have told this to you already. So this during the this one pandemic, this girls' college is it? Avinashi Lingam Girls' College. They, the English department head invited me.
You went to give a lecture.
Well, the recent, but this is even before that.
Okay.
Recently, also it was a girls' college. The topic was different, but there it was a bit stressful environment and stressful for teachers, not for children. Children are quietly sitting at home, and so I decided I will. She wanted me to talk about values and all. I said, if I give a lecture on values, that will be boring. So I asked them some questions. What is your idea of success? You tell me your idea of success in life. And they gave me several answers. And most people said family, that kind of, they came back to family. Not this, I want to own this, own that, etc. So we concluded like that. Then I asked them, okay, you're all working now, you're in the third year of BCom, whatever, and you're going to graduate, you're going to get a job in a bank or somewhere. Suppose your manager is following you. At 6 o'clock, he comes to your office and says, let's go for dinner. Or he's quietly following you when you're walking home. What will you do? There are 200 girls there online. And I told some of them, you have to keep the video on and I want questions from you. So some ladies, they actually kept it on. I thanked them. I asked them this question, what will you do? Anything, read the newspapers? Did I say anything wrong? And then some people started answering. Like this, I gave 3-4 examples of, they were just inelegant examples, but quite real examples. What will you do? Do you have anybody? Will you even talk to anybody? Today, if you don't have any friend, you can't talk. You'll be suffering in yourself and you won't talk to anybody. You can't go to the police. Parents, you may or may not talk. And if you don't have good friends, then you're lost. Like this, I brought them to a corner. And do you know what a marriage is? What is the purpose of marriage? What happens if he is not friendly to you? What will you do? Is this how your parents' marriage was? Like that, I asked them. They were all attentive. And I asked them a question. I said, if you can't ask a question, you type it in your chat box. Some said, oh, this is very interesting. And then slowly, somehow, the topic went off. Some girl said, Vishnu Sahasranama went off. I said, what? Vishnu Sahasranama? Where did that come from? And then that girl calls me afterwards, after the talk and all. But I'm saying the schools don't prepare them. Because the schools are under pressure to finish certain syllabus. There's no time to talk about all this marriage and all this. No chance. Success. How can you be successful in your career? That is the best school can do. And the school principal told me that also. There is a very good school, Mainga. It's called not Bala Vikas in the Thudiyalur. It's a very good school. It's called Vidya Vikas. Vidya Vikas school.
Vidya Vikas.
Vidya Vikasini, I think. And big campus. I felt like studying when I go. It was like my college campus. So nice it is. all children well dressed, the buses are all there. First thing I went to the office of the principal. I asked her. Generally, I was talking. Then I said, do your children know about life and what's coming and about the country, about their identity, about how to be happy in life, etc. This headmaster was honest. She said, sir, we don't do anything like that. We don't have time for that. They come like a assembly line, they come and then they have a break at 10, then they go, then break at 12:30, half an hour later they have to come, then 3:30 this, and then 5 o'clock they leave. This is what they do all year long. She told me this straight. Good school. Good school. That is why people like your friends, the Nisha and others. Homeschooling. Her friend does homeschooling.
Nisha, I met her.
Paatale ninga. Homeschooling is a very good idea. Because at least the child will be normal. Emotionally normal child. If the parents are prepared for that, that's always better. Anyway, we should stop soon, I think. And so ahankAra, mamakAra is a big topic actually. It's not easy. I don't claim to say it's easy and all that. And we need ahankAra also. After Jnanam also, ahankAra will be there. Swamiji will call it enlightened ahankAra. Correct? Because if you call Swamiji, Swamiji has to respond. Yeah. Hey, come on in. He has to say that. Otherwise, what is this use of this knowledge?
You used to say sannyasis are more ahankara.
Rukmini is saying sannyasis are more ahankara. Another theory is coming up here.
Yeah, I'm a jnani.
Yeah.
You know who I am? I am a student of Swami Dayananda Satsang.
Yes, that's also ahankara.
That's big ahankara, I tell you. That's ahankara. Therefore, you should respect me. Ahankara. Yeah, Gopalji.
I got a small garland, not a big one.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a small garland.
Now, I think Swamiji also quotes about the first Acharya Sabha when he had organized, like how some Acharyas, you gave me a small pedestal, this is bigger, same, small mala.
I don't know how Swamiji did this. Inviting 200 sannyasis to a conference. Can you even? These are all heads of matas, not some ordinary. Chennai.
Yeah.
For the first time, 150 matas, matadipatis are coming, and Swami Sadatmananda ji, when I was in the ashram, he asked me to host the sannyasis coming from Coimbatore and other parts. And I was wondering how I'm going to do it. You have to do like this, obviously, and you never know what you do. This is the plan, that's the plan. They didn't open their mouth at all. I didn't know what their feeling was. It felt very cold for me. But Swamiji called 150 people. So he told us, and he said, these people are going to be one ego after another. So he decided. He said, I decided I'm not going to have a row of chairs. I'm going to have one big circle of chairs. I saw the picture. Huge circle. 150 people sitting, so nobody can complain. I was behind, I was front and all that.
We have a group discussion in the academy like that. We used to circle like this.
Correct.
One circle, two circle will be there. We sit in a circle.
Okay.
So,
correct.
no one is.
Circle is good. So I know. So this ahankara is there, and we have to be careful. We have to be cautious, and we have to keep questioning ourselves. And it's not difficult. We should not assume this is all difficult or not. Grihastha Ashrama, as I said, why I said it, if a Vaidika family, Grihastha Ashrama, there won't be any time for all these things. Bringing up children, doing your Amavasya, Tarpanam, etc. itself, your life will be gone.
If you are just pulling on with your in-laws and your own personal पीहर ससुराल दोनों को संभाल के
that's it.
दोनों का relationship साथ रखोगे.
There is no time for ahankara. In a Vedic family, there is really no time. That marriage, etc. is enough. And they'll lead a reasonably happy life. They may not know all this, the Vedanta, this Nirankara, etc. All this they don't know. So I think that is that we don't take the Grihastha Ashrama lightly.
So automatically Karma Yoga is happening.
It's happening, ma. Really, I'm telling you, Karma Yoga is happening. Without using the word Karma Yoga, it's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening. That's why the people are, majority of the families are happy. At least in India and all, the older generation is happy.
society,
Probably the smooth transition from Grihastha to Vanaprastha, that's why happened very easily.
So the only thing is, if they are not exposed, it won't happen. For that, exposure is needed. But otherwise, nobody is saying, I am unhappy, I need Vedanta immediately, I need some help. Nobody says that. Everybody is just happy, old people are happy, young people are happy.
still today our society is still duty based and not right based.
Right, right,
So that way it's still successful today.
right. Ramuji is saying, Swamiji's very famous statement is, we are a duty-based society. So I'm more worried about duties. Am I doing my duties or not? And if I do duties, nobody is going to pat my back and say, oh boy, nothing. I have to do my duty because that's given. And in fact, if I don't do my duty only, people will point out, you've not been doing all these things. Whereas America is a rights-based society. Rights-based society. Very important difference. And therefore, this ahankara is automatically duty. If I don't do my duty, my ahankara will go down. Guilt will go. I can't open my mouth. I can't stand because there any chance people are going to point fingers at me. Therefore, duty-based society, something has to be said about that. So anyway, we'll conclude with this and we'll Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Thank you.